Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to today's video. I am sitting here with Dr. Ben Johnson. He is the formulator, founder of Osmosis. Some of you guys might know him. He's been on my channel, gosh, for years now, right? Since I discovered Osmosis a long time ago.
Yeah, it's been a great back and forth. People tell us they love our chemistry, so we're back for some more.
We are back.
Poking. I don't know what we're doing today.
We're actually
she's asking tough questions.
We're doing a Q&A. So yesterday I went to the Osmosis seminar here in Newport Beach. It was super fun and did a whole class. I felt like I was in school again.
Yes.
Learned a whole bunch.
Did you learn something? Oh, good.
I did actually,
That's so good.
But I asked you guys to give me all your questions in regards to skincare, osmosis. So that's what we're doing today.
Well, that's fantastic. I love answering questions. So.
Yes, and you're good at it. So should we just dive right in?
That's a long list.
We have a long list.
For this?
Yep. It's the best information.
So many questions. Okay, let's try.
Best information. So, okay. Talking about osmosis, which formulas and products can be mixed together?
Oh, well, usually the way I like to do the serums is mix them one at a time. I don't know if you do that, but I'll mix Rescue, Renew, Catalyst together. The one you don't want to mix with everything else is Stem Factor.
That's the only one, right?
Yeah, you want to put that on your clean skin first because the growth factors are in exosomes and you want those to go into your follicles. And so if you have like a moisturizer or something that's preventing that absorption, you won't get as much of the benefit.
Right. So Stem Factor is really, I actually didn't know you could mix Rescue. I mix my Catalyst and Renew and then do the Rescue afterwards by itself. But you can actually mix them together.
Yeah. Well, what's nice about what she just said, putting Rescue last, is those first two are a little tacky. So when you do that last, it's almost like a nice finish.
Yeah. It kind of takes that little tackiness away a little bit too.
Yeah. So that's okay.
Okay.
I just...
you just are like one and done.
Yeah. We like it simple.
All right. Oh, this is actually a really good question. How do you know which brands use a good delivery system? Like, is it on the label? Because I'm always talking about... like the liposomal delivery system is so key to skincare, you know? Yeah. But when you look at labels on different brands, what is your way or knowledge? How does that work in the marketing or like the skincare world?
Well, I think what you see when you look at these brands is that they don't have a delivery system. They would tell you if they did, first of all. So if I had to think, like you work with all these brands. Yeah. How many talk about a delivery system?
I mean, medical grade, yes. Sephora, none.
So a couple of things to learn about the delivery systems that are out there. Number one, you have liposomes. What are liposomes? Liposomes are something wrapped in basically a water fat soluble substance or something fatty. So what we use is phosphatidylcholine. Phosphatidylcholine is same thing that your cells are made of. So it has a polar chain to it, which means it's both lipid soluble and water soluble. This is why I love this ingredient. And on the skin, it has a really protective, UVB protective effect. So phosphatidylcholine, that's what most of the pharmaceutical companies use. But there are some delivery systems. I'm trying to think what people... Some people think low pH is a delivery system. I don't personally think that's true. There's actually evidence to show that when you burn the skin, it tends to almost react in a way that prevents penetration. So there's this important concept that I think is essential to enjoying your skincare and making your skin thrive, and that is to keep your barrier intact, not scrub it away, not melt it away. So I don't like low pH as a delivery system.
But you can't just look at a label and think like, oh, that's their delivery.
Yeah, what's on the label?
Right.
Very rarely, like sometimes you'll see a liposome ingredient included in the label.
Right.
So you might see all these ingredients and then it says liposomal retinol or something. I've seen that out there. So that ingredient has better penetration, but the rest of the ingredients don't. What I chose to do was liposome encapsulate all the ingredients, and because they're all going to be working together synergistically. Yeah. So if you're looking at a brand and you're trying to look at a label, well, there's this other brand, I won't call them out, but they use hydrogenated phosphatidylcholine. And hydrogenated phosphatidylcholine does not penetrate. But you might read phosphatidylcholine and think, oh, I've got a delivery system.
That's so interesting.
I use hydrogenated phosphatidylcholine when I'm making a moisturizer sometimes. But I won't use it as my serum activator. So there really aren't, if they're not telling you, I can think of a couple of chemicals that I haven't used I just read about like 2-3 years ago where they said they enhanced delivery by 30% or something like that. All the studies I've seen on liposomes is it's 600%. So it's 6 times the normal penetration. It's not 6 times everything. Obviously, you're not getting 100% to go in. So when I say 600%, I mean if your vitamin C gets a 3% penetration, with the liposomes, it's going to get 18%.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Okay. That's a really good question. Good. Perfect. Okay. This person wants to know, how do you treat KP on the face?
Oh, I love this question because it's a misunderstanding. KP is keratosis pilaris, is a back of the arm generally is where you see it.
Yeah.
Some people see it on their legs. I don't think it's the same. Some people see it on their face. It is not. So what I call that is milia looking acne. Milia looking, so it's like it's this little white dot, and you're like, it doesn't look like a normal acne because it's not cystic or it's not big and red. It's just this little white, like, whitehead essentially. Well, that is still candida acne. If it's in your digestive zone, remember, we've mapped the face. Brianna became an expert yesterday in class, but we mapped the face, and when you get that milia looking acne anywhere in this zone right here, that is still candida coming out of your skin. Not candida toxins coming out of your skin. And so it looks like KP, but you treat it the same way. So Skin Perfection, Skin Clarifier.
That Skin Clarifier cleanses everything.
Yeah.
That is like my go-to. Everybody that says like, what should I get first for rosacea or acne? I'm like, Skin Clarifier. That's what you need to do first.
Guys, there's only one reason for it. Mucus is this huge problem in our society. There's no treatment for mucus on the market. I couldn't believe it when I researched it. I was like, why is no one making a cleanse for mucus? And it's good for allergies, but it's good for all these digestive problems. And you say, well, why? Why am we now all of a sudden hearing about mucus? By the way, mucus is what causes blackheads. So if you have blackheads, you have the mucus thing going on.
Yep.
But why mucus? Fried food, dairy. A lot of us notice we don't tolerate dairy. How do you do with dairy?
I don't eat it really. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So that and no wonder like your skin stays clear.
Exactly.
You're so lucky.
Yeah. I do the Skin Clarifier.
Oh, you do?
I do that probably every couple of months just to like
too.
refresh everything. Yeah.
I do too. And so for me, I do a ton of dairy, and I have to do Skin Clarifier.
Otherwise, it'll come out on your skin.
Oh
so,
yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, it's there because of the food. So it's dairy, fried food, and then supplements like magnesium citrate, basically citric acid in any combination is going to cause mucus in the gut. Oh, orange juice. Some people drink orange juice. They think they're so healthy in the morning they drink a glass of orange juice.
That can cause mucus?
Totally. You can feel it. Right after you drink orange juice, notice you'll be like, that's mucus happening like right out of the gate.
Yeah.
So.
And a lot of foods actually do create that. You know? So yeah, that's Skin Clarifier. I had a lady reach out to me actually the other day. She said, Skin Clarifier cleared her rosacea. Like, she could not ever get rid of her rosacea, no matter what. That was the only thing that cleared it. She goes, I did 2 rounds of it. My skin completely cleared up. She goes, I haven't even had to touch my skin in like 9 months. Like, it's so clear.
I love those stories.
It's the best. Yeah.
It's really amazing.
Yeah, so cool. That product is like a miracle worker. So
now, if you've had a lot of mucus, this is a good point on Skin Clarifier since we're bringing it up.
Yeah.
Some people need it with fiber. So if you're someone who's had acne, eczema, psoriasis, or rosacea for over a year, then there's a good chance that that mucus that was part of the problem has solidified. We call these mucus plaques. So I recommend, if you took a round of Skin Clarifier and you didn't notice a lot of difference, the next round, or even with that round, if you up to it, take something like psyllium husk and help pull. It's basically scratches away.
Oh, you take it with that?
Yes. Twice a day, psyllium with the Skin Clarifier, and it'll scratch away and pull away that mucus while it's melting, and that can be really helpful.
Oh, interesting. Perfect. I'm telling you, the Skin Clarifier, literally, that's like a game changer.
Game changer.
It's the best.
Pending, in case all you formulators out there.
Exactly. Okay, so this person gets dry patches on her left cheek. Then they start to flake and peel, but she can't get it to stop.
I kind of want to see it. If it's only her left cheek, that's a weird presentation. What I would say is it could be just a patch of candida in her gut, because we map the skin, right, and we see on the cheek that this is your small and large intestine area. So if she's seeing that repeatedly, flaking, she could have an infection in that area, or she could have a candida overgrowth in that area.
That's weird, just like a dry patch that's not healing up, you know?
She wrote you this, right?
Yeah, she did, yeah.
Ask her if she can send in a picture
Yeah.
And if she has any other skin things, because usually it's more than just a patch.
Okay. All right. Best products for hyperpigmentation. How to layer them, like because I got actually a couple questions like this: hyperpigmentation, melasma, so kind of like skin discoloration in general.
Okay, so I kind of take a defined stance on this because if you've ever, I think we've talked about this before. I feel like all pigmentation is protective, so I'm a little hesitant to use lighteners. When I know that the reason why your skin made that pigment is because there's a wound underneath it's trying to protect. That being said, Brianna was just showing me some of the formulas she sells on the website, and there's some nice tyrosinase inhibitor formulas. I believe all tyrosinase inhibitor formulas should have an exfoliator component. So you'll see some companies, they might use more azelaic acid, more kojic acid, something.
You gotta like stop the melanin, but then exfoliate the top layers of your skin off at the same time.
And here's why: because when you try to stop the melanin, your skin figures it out. Lighteners, people haven't, maybe they've realized it, but lighteners seem to stop working after a little while unless you're exfoliating at the same time. Now, I'm telling you this as a person who doesn't believe in exfoliation, and I'm telling you this as a person who takes tyrosinase inhibitor. But to be fair, I decided, because I know it takes a little while to heal the inner approach to hyperpigmentation, which is my belief is the way you heal an age spot is you use rescue and you heal the epidermal wound, or the way you heal a liver spot or melasma is you heal the liver. So we have regenerate to heal the liver, we have immune activator to heal the liver,
and they do work. 100%.
They work. But it takes
time,
8 months maybe, you know, like a long time. And you're like, well, I don't want to. So while I'm waiting, what do? So tyrosinase inhibitors are good. They're not toxic. Hydroquinone, please don't ever use hydroquinone. Do you sell any products?
No. And the funny thing is with hydroquinone, it will work, but then as soon as you stop using it, it just comes right back. So you're constantly, it's the biggest waste. It's toxic.
Well, that's true about all tyrosinase inhibitors.
Yeah, you have to keep using. But they're safer to use than hydroquinone.
Oh, hydroquinone will poison your skin. It might even make your skin permanently blue, this deep blue called exogenous ochronosis. It's not good. And it's poison. Like, it literally, as it penetrates into your body, it actually has harmful effects. Yeah. I don't know how much penetrates, to be honest, but any amount would be toxic to the system. So, hydroquinone poisons the melanocytes. So you only have so many melanocytes. The reason why when you see an older gentleman, you might see he's got brown spots, he's got red spots, he's got white spots. White spots indicate that he's run out of melanin in that area. So you can run out of melanin. So if you keep poisoning your melanocyte with hydroquinone, you'll run out of melanin sooner. And, everyone's going to be a little different on that. So
for, osmosis products, melasma, hyperpigmentation, what is your protocol for that?
Okay, so topically for age spots, we're the only permanent age spot treatment. That's rescue. And now where I think a lot of consumers have a problem is they're not sure, is that a liver spot or is that an age spot? Usually the liver spots are bigger and the age spots are smaller, and usually the age spots are going to be in the zones where you get the most sun, so like the forehead or the nose or something like that.
Right.
So if rescue hasn't worked within 8 weeks and cleared them, then chances are they're liver spots. And if they're liver spots, regenerate, internal liver repair, and immune activator is needed if you have melasma.
That's an internal too.
That's another internal to help heal the liver. Yeah. And then topically, we use Catalyst.
Yeah.
So Catalyst is really good at helping expedite the wound at the surface, the wound repair, and that reduces pigment.
Okay. Copper serums, like copper peptide serums, are they worth it?
Ooh, wow. Look at these great questions. Okay. So yes, copper peptides are and have been found to help with collagen production and some wound healing. They are, they've lost favor, really, because like some of the early formulations, I want to say 15, 20 years ago, copper peptide was the thing. But people started to notice if they used too much of it, they would get what's called the copper peptide uglies.
Really?
Yeah, their skin would start to show more pigment. And they were trying to figure out what was going on there. So I would say it's a decent ingredient. It's not worth chasing or.
And is it more of an ingredient that's better in other formulations than, there's some products out there that are like copper peptides.
Peptide. Yeah. The ones that were really heavy in copper peptide, and I'm trying to remember the guy's name. There was one guy who was a big proponent of copper peptides. Copper is an important ingredient as part of, like, we use copper in our catalyst because I know it's part of the mechanism for wound healing. How well does it penetrate? It's a smaller peptide. Yeah, I would say that if it's a product line that the whole focus is that ingredient, you probably won't like it because you'll probably get the uglies.
That's funny, yeah. And it's probably not, like, I feel like that's an ingredient that you need in a formula.
Yeah,
not
small
a stand.
amount,
Yeah, not a stand
not too much
alone.
of it.
Yeah. Okay.
But I don't see it hardly ever anymore. So that tells me it just has lost favor.
I think so. Yeah.
You know, we keep advancing our understanding of how the skin's.
It's not like a must-have ingredient.
Right.
Right. Okay. Can you use catalyst morning and night?
Oh yeah.
And for certain protocols, you would want to, right?
I think for everybody over 30.
Yeah.
But I'm biased. And I know for some people it's darker, so that's where we were just talking about mixing it with rescue, maybe helping it if it's a problem, whether it's too dark for your skin. But you just try. You really try and
take that mist. Use the mist. Use the water of the mist.
Work it in.
You have to use the mist.
Get the Epic tool. Work it in better.
Exactly. Yeah.
And if you can only use it once a day, once or twice a week, it's okay to do 2-3 pumps and maybe even 5 pumps
and just sleep
with it. Have like a mask, a leave-on overnight mask.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
Thank you, Brianna.
The overnight mask thing is really good, just to layer it on and then just sleep with it. All right, how many rounds of Regenerate to clear melasma?
So, I haven't found anyone who really needed more than 8 months. I know, it's a long time. Like, healing the liver is not
But you're healing your liver. It's not an overnight process.
You will have other benefits, by the way, when you feel your liver healing, like, you don't feel it. Actually, I've had a couple people feel it.
Really?
They took Regenerate, and they had serious liver problems, and they're like, I'm getting, like, a pain from it. I'm like, that's actually a repair pain you're getting, which is really interesting.
Oh, wow.
So, but rare, very rare, like, 1 in 10,000. But, you 8 months at 6 caps a day, and then you move down to 3 caps a day, and you will see lots of things changing. Your liver spots start fading, and people probably don't even realize how many people have liver spots. Like, I'm talking about the ones on your hands and arms too. Those are all liver spots. A lot of people who have may have sun damage, but they might have a few bigger brown spots. That's probably liver spots because liver hits this whole area: arms, chest, face. So then you go to 3 caps a day. I've been on, like, listen, I still have a couple of still fading liver spots, and I'm 18 months in. So I did 8 months of 6, and now I'm probably on another, I'm on the 10th month.
Are you taking 3? Yeah.
And you don't need more than that. Some people like it for the superfood aspect of the liver.
Yeah.
And you don't really taste the liver.
No, you don't. No. Yeah.
So, but the AKG is amazing. The AKG is good for the body, and if you ever want to be a nerd, a skincare nerd, which I know you have a few, go Google the clinical research on AKG, alpha ketoglutarate, and how amazing it is for the body. And so that's another reason why you want to just stay on Regenerate. And then over time, you're just going to keep seeing them fade.
Well, I mean, Regenerate too is not just for people with hyperpigmentation. Like, it's a collagen supplement, so it's anti-aging. Like, it is my favorite collagen supplement out there.
I'm telling you, and I found that a lot of these collagen supplements are hurting the gut. They're leading people to acne. They get H. pylori. So H. pylori is where you start to see your red underneath your nostrils, not red on the sides of your nostrils, but underneath your nostrils. And they're causing candida acne, and people don't even realize, like, all of a sudden they've never had acne and they're on this liquid collagen formula, and next thing you know, their skin's freaking out.
Yeah.
So I don't like the collagen. Regenerate has the amino acids that you get from collagen that are the most targeted for the skin, and when you combine that with AKG, it's like a powerhouse.
Phenomenal. It's my favorite formula.
Did your skin peel at all?
No,
my skin peeled. It was.
I remember you told me that. Yeah.
Watch and see. That is the coolest thing to me, is when you start to see your skin showing the signs, because you'll take liquid collagen all day long, or collagen, and you won't see your skin change that much. Usually not at all. And you'll see. And it's funny because Brandon takes it every day too, and his nails and his hair grow way faster. If he stopped taking, I ran out of it for a couple of weeks, and then it was back when it was on back order a while. He's like, oh my god, my nails aren't growing anymore. And then as soon as he started taking it again, his nails were like, he had to trim them all the time. I'm going to say that's a pro con. For women, they love it. They want stronger, longer nails. Us guys
We're
like,
like, oh, I
shoot,
gotta do my nails
clip
again.
my nails again.
But it just shows like how much like it's very like stimulating. Yeah.
It is part of my hair loss formula, and one of the biggest complaints I'm seeing right now in the world today is increased hair loss for women. Men, we already knew, like it's just a problem. But women starting to see an increase. So regenerate.
That is true, actually. Why is that, do you think?
I don't want to get too political, but there's some effects from COVID. People could get it, and then from the jab that people are seeing. Even
I've heard that
effects.
too. Yeah. Okay. Because that is true. A lot more women are like
asking about hair.
Yeah.
That's why you're selling some nice shampoos.
Yeah, exactly. That really help with hair stimulation. Yeah.
But so what you want to know the hair protocol? We'll just pretend it's a question.
Okay.
Right there.
Yep.
Regenerate.
Yeah.
Hormone relief. That's our
that's
our
internal.
elixir.
Yep.
Regenerate, hormone relief, and if this has happened since you've been jabbed or since you've been infected, take 2 doses of immune defense, 2 bottles per dose for most people, 12 hours apart, and that will shut the activity of it. Because a lot of people think, oh, I had it 6 months ago, but my hair's been a problem ever since.
Right.
If you're still having problems 6 months later, then that means it's smoldering in you. If you don't have a strong enough immune system, these viruses stay active.
Oh, perfect. I will leave all that protocol information down in the description so they can like read that up. Yeah, exactly.
I didn't know you did that.
Yes.
Nice.
Okay. Oh, this is a good one too because they were talking about this yesterday in the class. The differences between Infuse and Boost.
Yes. So,
because it was funny because Renee doing the classes, she actually really likes Infuse.
I do too.
Do you?
I do too. I mean, Boost has like a humectant in it,
more
which that people love, and I don't need that, so I don't use it. It has a little bit of a shine to it too, a little bit of more glowy, a little more radiance.
Right.
I think dry climate would be Boost, right?
Would be Boost
because it'd be more it has humectants in it,
okay.
And it has like a couple little plumpers. What Infuse has that's different is it's water and minerals essentially. So you're infusing minerals into the skin. It's half the story behind Infuse and Boost is the frequencies. And so we're actually impregnating the water that's in that formula with frequencies that help make the skin healthier. So there's an advantage of frequencies, which I know is a crazy part of the osmosis story. Minerals, or in the case of Boost, it's just a little bit more hydrating and plumping. So I can see why people like both. I would say if you want to know like the inside sauce for osmosis, I bet 2/3 of our sales are Boost over Infuse. I should say, how do I want to say that? Of those two,
Boost is more popular.
Boost is more popular. Maybe it's 60-40.
Yeah.
60-40.
Yeah. But you could, like I said, you could use either. They both do the same thing with activating the serums.
Yes.
Because I think that's another question somewhere in here, but it's a question that I get asked a lot. What serums need the activating mist?
Yeah, that is a great question. I think the ones that need it the most are the concentrates. So some people make one of the things you'll find about osmosis serums is they're very dense in color and
very concentrated.
Very concentrated. You can tell, when you get a lot of formulas off the shelf and you put them in your hand, you can just tell there's just not a lot of active in there. It's just sort of a creamy base. This is like active ingredient is the base.
Yeah.
And so if I could have diluted it in the bottle, and then you'd have to use more in order to get it. So in order to save you money,
and with yours you control how much you need, or you're like in the control of how much you pump out, how much you spray, like how you
right.
If
like it's too much, some people do like a half a pump in the beginning.
Yeah, exactly.
Until their skin absorbs better. Because sometimes with these concentrates, your skin, it'll take 2 weeks for them to really absorb it normally. So you might start with a half a pump. But so the Infuse and Boost can dilute. So where I would say is correct, renew, catalyst.
Do you need it with replenish? Do you need it with that?
It's another concentrate.
Yeah.
Not as bad as the other ones.
Yeah, it's thinner than like Catalyst or something.
Yeah, it is thinner.
Right.
So, but those the main ones are the Serums and the Catalyst that really benefit from it. Because like Brianna said earlier, you want to work it in to really help the color dissipate. So working it in with Infuse or Boost is a good idea.
Yes. Not a good idea. It's a must.
It's a must-have.
It's a must. All right. How do you tighten laxity in skin? Like if you have lax skin, how do you tighten?
Oh, I love that question.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Okay, so the number one cause of lax skin is actually volume loss in your face. And that is impossible to tighten. Yeah, you go in and get your facelifts and you do your filler. I don't recommend either of those. So why does your face lose volume as you age?
Fat pads.
Fat pads. The structural fat pads, like my favorite subject.
Yeah.
Because it can be so dramatic for your skin. So you have fat pads in your neck. You have fat pads all around your mouth. The ones that shrink are the ones in your neck, the ones around your mouth, the ones in a wedge underneath your eye over here, and then your whole forehead, including between your eyebrows. So the 11s, that's fat pad losses.
Right.
The wrinkles, if you have lines in your forehead, you have fat pad losses.
Yeah.
And this all gets worse from it. So to tighten it from a topical perspective, we use Catalyst. That's our best firmer.
And it definitely does firm the skin. But like you said, you can only do so much topically.
Right.
Yeah.
And clinically, like if you have eyelids that are like sagging over your eyes to that point, Catalyst is not going to do it. But it did tighten the eyelids by 15%.
Right, exactly.
The thing is, 15% of big old saggers is not going to be enough.
Right, exactly.
Surgery, I actually do recommend surgery for when your lids got to that point.
Yeah.
It's a nice, simple, not too invasive thing.
Yeah.
But fat pads, refill the volume of your fat pads. And the average 50-year-old, let's say, would need 7 or 8 bottles.
But if you start young, if you start young on it too, it'll help you keep them. That's the thing too. Always.
Yes. In fact, I love recommending it for women who are breastfeeding, because as they're breastfeeding, they're actually robbing from their fat pad to feed the milk, and so that will shrink their breast. So this keeps that from happening. Plus, it's a superfood. Our recovery is a superfood oil. Right. So that is why you should do it. By the way, buttocks, makes your buttocks lifts and firms your buttocks. Includes how do I want to say it? It creates a density in your arms and your thighs. It doesn't create loose fat, but a density.
It just brings that like tightness.
It tightens your legs, which you can't do in any other way.
All right, we only have a couple more questions. Okay.
All right.
The percentage of L-Ascorbic acid in Catalyst AC11, and actually I just learned this yesterday. I did not know this myself either.
What did you hear yesterday?
Renee told me about 14%.
Well, that's sort of true. I want to be totally fair about this. What I was trying to do when I made Catalyst was make a formula that you could tolerate. So if I actually used 14% L-ascorbic acid, very few people could tolerate it, to be honest. So what we do is we use somewhere closer to, and I formulated 10 years ago, but my recollection is we're using somewhere closer to 8%, but we're using 6% alpha-ketoglutarate. So remember I said look up that research on alpha-ketoglutarate, and that's what's in Regenerate? On the skin, it does the same function vitamin C does. It makes collagen molecules stick together, or amino acids stick together to make collagen. So I think this is an amazing secret invention. It is a patented product. Formulators out there. But L-ascorbic plus AKG is the equivalent of 14%. So that's why we say that. But it's not. It doesn't have the irritants yet.
I would say it's not like another product like a C-serum with 15% L-ascorbic.
Correct.
So it's just formulated differently. And again, like I always tell people, it's all about the formulation. Formulations are key.
Yes.
So, okay, good to know. Catalyst before, after, renew, which we kind of talked about. You can combine mix them.
I think mix them.
Easy.
But if you were, say, like laxity was more important to me than wrinkles, then you could do Catalyst first. But honestly, who's going to say that? Like if you have laxity and wrinkles, they're probably going together. Fix them.
Slap them on together.
Fix them. Mix them. Fix and mix.
Yep. Eye bags, dark circles, most likely due to allergies. Is there anything that they could do for that?
Most likely due to allergies. Well, I'm going to tell you, we did, and you were in the class for this too. Dark circles are an interesting phenomenon, and they really do reflect your kidney health. Okay, so just start by understanding this little space right under your eyes is a kidney zone. And so where I've seen dark circles happen, number one is sleep problems. So yeah, maybe your allergies are keeping you from sleeping well at night, and that will create dark circles. And you say, well, why does not sleeping create dark circles? Because your kidneys like to rest. And I actually went to Chinese medicine on this. Chinese medicine talks about how qi is derived from your kidneys. I don't know how they came up with that. They have a lot of wisdom, but I can tell you that I've seen it over and over again. Women who are going through perimenopause, postmenopause, who are not sleeping well, they wake up at like 2 and 3 in the night. They're getting dark circles. So getting your sleep back, we have protocols for that. I don't know how much detail to go into, but let's just say you need to detox these estrogen mimicking molecules out of your body, skin defense. You need to take hormone relief, and if you have problems where your brain is too busy trying to get to sleep at night, take Relax Elixir. Okay, so those are the ones for that type of dark circles. The second most common dark circle is heavy metal poisoning, and you usually get it as a kid. Like you might say, I've had dark circles since I was 8. Well, you were probably in an old house drinking water that had a lot of metals in it, and that I've seen causes it. So that's also skin defense.
That's interesting, yeah.
And regenerate. Regenerate repairs the kidneys as well, not just the skin, not just the liver. It does the kidneys and the thyroid and the brain. And so you do that combination. And then the other one is medicine. So one of the possibilities, if you might be right, it's your allergies in the sense that you're taking an allergy medicine that is hurting your kidneys, making them dark. Usually medicine makes them red and puffy. Yeah. Sometimes it makes them dark.
Yeah.
So keep all that in mind. I think we can help.
Okay. All right. Last question. Why is rescue good for anti-aging, not just rosacea, acne?
Love the question. So your skin. Okay. The way I like to tell you this is that there's always a focus on antioxidants. Almost every line you sell probably has an antioxidant story.
Right.
And people don't realize that free radicals happen even if you have antioxidants. If I put antioxidants on my face and I run outside and sit outside for 30 minutes, tons of free radicals are happening. It's not that the antioxidants prevent them. So what does that mean? That means you have free radical damage in your skin. It accumulates over time. So what rescue is doing is repairing oxidative damage. And
which is huge.
Huge.
You need that. Yeah.
So it repairs texture. Texture is from oxidative damage. So if you're somebody who, when you push your skin together, it kind of accordion folds a little bit.
Like crepey.
Crepey skin.
Yeah.
That is a problem with your epidermal health. And so rescue restores a lot of that. Yeah. Enlarged pores can be associated with that, although I also connect it to fermented foods and yogurt. Yes, there's an internal component to enlarged pores. It seems crazy, but I'm finding that to be very true. So it's repairing oxidative damage, and that's going to repair age spots and repair skin texture. Those are things that like the vitamin A's and the vitamin C's don't do. Right. So it's a very unique part of the aging process.
Because I always tell everybody, I'm like, rescue is amazing for rosacea, it's amazing for acne, but honestly, it's something we should all be using. It's so anti-aging. There's honestly no product like it on the market.
No product in the world. That one is like, I literally have my own lab making that in Florida. Yeah. That ingredient, trioxylane. And
it's so unique.
It's so unique. And it smells a little funky, like ozone.
Chlorine. It smells like chlorine, but I like it now.
It reminds you of a pool. It actually smells like ozone. Yeah. But you're
I like it now. Yeah.
I totally doesn't bother me.
At first, when I first put it on, everyone comments. They're like, "Oh my god, it was a little shocking putting it on." I'm like, "Oh, you're gonna learn to love it." And then people literally comment like after a little bit, they're like, "Oh, I like the smell now," because it works
their body
so
knows.
well.
Yeah,
it just works.
Their brain goes, "Hey, this is good."
Yeah, exactly. No, that ingredient, that product is just so unique and so good.
Well, thank you. I know I've
been using that for years.
I can't live without it.
Yeah,
I actually didn't pack it on this trip to Brianna here today, so I don't have it on my skin this morning. I'm not happy. I am not happy. My skin's not happy, and I'm not happy.
Well, I got some in my bathroom for you, so.
All right.
So that's it. That's our questions for today.
Well, we covered a lot of ground here.
Look at, they're very smart, These are good
I love
questions.
your what do you call them? Your followers, I guess?
Yeah, my skincare
your team.
fellow nerd. That was good.
Well, let's do another one.
We're going to come back and do another video, but thanks, I will
thank you, everybody.
I will leave all like little notes and stuff down in the description box for you guys as always, but thank you guys so much for watching.
Yes.
Thanks, Ben, for coming and hanging out again as
My
always.
pleasure. Always fun.
We'll see you soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.